black with dark hair can be risky business. Hopefully I'm not just blending into one big blob. Hi guys, how are you? How are you doing today? My name is Laynie and welcome. I'm super extra excited for today's video because if you're new here, I came down with, you know, the Rona, and I lost my sense of smell for, I think it was 3 weeks, a good 3 solid weeks, and I was getting scared that I wasn't going to get it back because there are some people who don't, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have all of these perfumes, and what if I never get to smell them again? That would be upsetting. When you spend your hard-earned money on perfume, you want to be able to smell it and enjoy it, otherwise what's the point? So I'm a little late to getting to this, but I'm a firm believer in it's better late than never. So I want to share with you my favorite perfumes of last year. So if you enjoy beauty content, fragrance content, and lifestyle content, make sure you click that subscribe button, join the fam, you will not regret it. I am so hopeful that I'm going to reach 2,000 subscribers this year, and that would feel like such a big deal because I would actually have as many subscribers as my hometown, which is pretty freaking cool. So if you guys could do that, please hit the subscribe button, and now let's dive on into the perfumes. I will definitely leave all of these down below for you guys in the description box. It seems like perfume prices change a lot depending on what website you're using, if there's deals running. So instead of talking about the price tag on these, I will link what I find down below for you guys. And I will try to find the best prices, but always do your own research to make sure you're getting the best deal ever. I know I am a bargain hunter. I love a good bargain. This is honestly a kind of unusual assortment. There's really no rhyme or reason to my list here. It's just the perfumes that came to mind, like what did I really enjoy wearing last year? What did I find myself reaching for last year? And these are the ones that came to mind. Okay, starting off, I am going to go through 4 perfumes, fragrances. I'm really trying to learn to say fragrances because I do believe anybody can wear whatever scent they like, but I definitely find myself saying perfume all the time. So the first 4 fragrances are actually from the same house, and it is the Alt brand house. So altfragrances.com. I found them through Kathleen Lights. I love her. I especially love her perfume videos. They're just so fun to watch. That's how I discovered them, and I have found myself being a repeat purchaser from them. I have had really good luck with their fragrances, and honestly their customer service is really good. For example, when I purchased this one, this is Alt Particle number 00. This is their version of, my brain just disappeared for a second. Molecule 01, which is one molecule. It is the ISO Super E molecule that gives the woody scents to a lot of fragrances. A lot of people wear this on their own, as they say it's kind of a fragrance that wears differently on everybody because it is that one molecule. And also it's one that you can pair with other fragrances to either help bring out a woodiness or to help it last longer if you find a fragrance not really lasting well on you. But when I purchased this and it arrived, it had leaked all in the package, like a good quarter of the bottle, and I was like, that's not cool. So I contacted them and they sent me a new bottle right away, which was really awesome, and I actually was able to give the old bottle to my dad, and he found out he loves this one very much. So he likes it, I like it, we have good taste. So yes, this one is a woody based fragrance. That's really all you're gonna get from it. But I do believe it wears differently on everyone, because when my dad wears it, obviously I can tell it's this. I can tell it is particle number 00 or molecule 01 is what it smells like. So I know that's what it is right away, but I do feel like on him, it reads much more masculine than versus like on me. And I find myself reaching for this one a lot. When I have a fragrance that's really, really sweet, I am a huge sweets fan, both when it comes to food and fragrance. But there are times where I'm just like, ooh, it's just a little bit sweeter than I'm feeling today. It's a little too syrupy. I love pairing this to tone that down. Or if I kind of want to give those sweet fragrances like a little bit more of like a niche or high-end vibe, I feel like this one goes really well with it. And I have a sample of a decant, of the original, and they're like identical. The only difference is Alt is a straight version, and I do find this one is way more powerful, way more potent than the real version. and it's so much cheaper. It lasts really well, like really, really well. As soon as my dad walks in my house, if he's wearing this, I'm like, oh, you're wearing the one I gave you. I do think it has a slight synthetic smell to it because it is synthetic, but there's also this like creaminess to it. And it's really like, to me, like a creamy wood. I picture like a light, like a, I picture a tree or like a cut piece of wood where the outside is like a thick, rugged bark, but the inside wood is like a light, soft type wood. And that's what I get from this. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I personally wouldn't want my husband to wear it because I don't want my husband to smell like my dad. That's weird. But I definitely believe this is totally unisex. I think it's beautiful when I wear it. Like, I kind of want to wear this tonight. Like, we're going on our first date in a year. Ooh, I'm so excited, and I kind of want to wear this. It's sexy. And I think women wearing a little bit more of a masculine fragrance can come across really sexy. I love it. I think it is an extremely good dupe. It smells so much like the original. It's stronger. You can't beat the price tag. So I found myself reaching for this one a lot, and honestly just so super duper impressed with it. If you guys are new here, I have a toddler who's upstairs playing right now, so if it sounds like someone's bowling, nope, that's just her. This is their version of Baccarat Rouge 540, the much raved about, the much worn. This is Alt Crystal number 23. I really want to try their extrait version, the one that smells like Baccarat Rouge extrait. These are already extrait versions of Parfum. The extrait version has an almond note. I'm a big fan of almond, so I really want to try it. But anyways, this is their version of Baccarat Rouge 540. I have smelled Baccarat Rouge. I have a sample of it. Like, I have smelled it. I think it smells just alike. And for me, Baccarat Rouge is one of those fragrances that I have a very hard time smelling. Oh gosh, that's good. Because I go nose blind to it. It's like the first whiff, I get it so good, but if I like keep smelling this, I will not be able to pick it up in a couple minutes. This smells so good. It smells so much like the real thing to me. I mean, honestly, if you put this on a tester and the real thing on a tester, I couldn't smell the difference. I'm sure a really well-trained nose could, but it's so good. It's got that toasted sugar, sponge sugar smell, and that woodsy note that really brings out like the elegance in this scent. It lasts super well. When I wear this to work, if I reuse any article of clothing the next day, I will smell this. Like if I'm going to reuse something, I hang it on the towel rod in my bathroom. I know, really put together over here. And I walk into my bathroom, my whole bathroom will smell like this. It's elegant. It smells extremely high-end because it smells like the real thing. I know there are some people who are like, I won't wear anything that smells like Baccarat Rouge because too many people smell like Baccarat Rouge. And I'm sure those people live in areas where that is true. I do not live in one of those areas. I have never been out and smelled anything that smells remotely like Baccarat Rouge, so I have no problem wearing this. I think it's amazing, and honestly, for the price tag, wouldn't care if someone else did. Now, if I spent the $300 on the real thing, then I'd probably care. I think this is incredible. Hopefully you guys are cool with Alt because I have 4 in here. So the next one is their version of Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. It is Cherry Smash number 12. I got the small bottle and I really, I wish I hadn't because I love this. But this one to me is one season, winter. Maybe if I layered it with something a bit more fun and fresh, I could get away with it in the summertime, but this is very winter. I wore this to work one day and my coworker was like, "What are you wearing? You smell amazing." It is so good. It's so cherry. If you love cherry fragrances, it is like syrupy cherry. It's not cough syrup though. It's like a pure, sweet, candy cherry scent. But then you got like this kind of liqueur note in there. And I get the cinnamon, but it's like a creamy, smooth cinnamon. I wore this to Christmas. I smelled incredible. I can't lie. I love this. I think it's so wonderful. I've smelled the real Tom Ford. This smells exactly like it. When I went to Saks and smelled Tom Ford Lost Cherry, I was like, no freaking way. This is identical, and I love this scent. Do not get it twisted. I love this scent, but it is not a scent I could ever imagine spending that kind of money on because it is something that's really winter to me. It's also a very particular scent. I don't find this being something I would want my signature scent being, but if it's yours, absolutely go for it, enjoy it. Just for me, it wouldn't be signature scent worthy, so I could never imagine spending the kind of money on the real thing. But yes, I will buy Alt's version. It's incredible, and for wintertime, it's stunning, and now I really want to try layering it with some more playful summery ones. I think it could be so good. And then lastly from Alt is actually one I discovered late in the year. It's funny how as I've really gotten into fragrance in the last year, my nose has changed. The first time I smelled By the Fireplace, I hated it. Like, hated it. I seriously smelled it. I gave the tester to my husband. I was like, why would anybody want to smell like this? Because it truly smells like burning campfire. It really does. And then I came back to it at the end of last year, and I was like, I get it. I get it all of a sudden. It's wonderful. And I was just like obsessed. I couldn't stop thinking about it so much that I actually paid Instacart to have it delivered to me because I wanted the fragrance so bad and I regretted not purchasing it. And then I got the real version and I wore it, and the first day I found myself having to apply it like 3 or 4 times because it just didn't last on me. And it is an Eau Toilette, so it's way less powerful. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm gonna do this. I like rarely return fragrances, but it just didn't last. I could not justify the price tag for the fact it wasn't lasting on me. It was beautiful, and I so respect the art form of how they created it because it's legitimately exactly like fire. It smells like a fireside by the fireplace, like legitimately. But I couldn't justify it. And then I found out Alt had a version, and I was like, am I gonna go down this path again? Am I going to try it? Yes, I'm going to. So I picked it up, well, I ordered it of course, and it smells exactly like the real thing, but again, it's an extrait de parfum, so it's way more concentrated, there's way more fragrance oil, it lasts really well, it smells exactly like it, but stronger. If you want more of that kiss of scent, that little bit more wateriness that you get from the real thing because of the fact it's not a parfum or an extrait de parfum, then I don't think you would like this. But if you want to smell like By the Fireplace and you're not afraid of a little power, this is it. It smells so good. You get that exact same By the Fireplace or By the Fireside, that burnt roasting wood, ashy wood that you get with the original. And then it tones down and it becomes the most sweet, woody, beautiful, burnt marshmallow. I mean, that's exactly what it smells like. It smells exactly like when you roast a marshmallow and the edges are a little golden, but then you also kind of crisp up the edge and there's just a little bit of black on there. The only way to roast a marshmallow, in my opinion, is you've got to burn it a little bit. You have to. If you enjoy that, you will enjoy this. It's incredible, and it's also a beautiful one to layer with other things. It's so beautiful for the winter time. It is very specific to winter time. I don't ever see myself reaching for this in the spring or summer, but fall, winter, absolutely incredible. And I mentioned earlier how my nose changed. Well, it is funny. That's why first impressions can be hit or miss. They're fun to do. I always enjoy watching first impressions, and I enjoy filming them. But your opinions can change. When I first smelled Invioli, I was like, I don't get it. It's just pure cinnamon on me. I don't understand. I don't get it. I was like, it's okay. It's not bad. But then I just kept wearing it and wearing it and wearing it in the fall. And by winter, I was obsessed. And now I'm like, I need a full bottle because this is amazing. By itself, it's great. Like, if you want straight up boozy cinnamon, like fall cinnamon sticks, you walk into the grocery store, they have their cinnamon brooms, like that's what I get, plus booziness. On its own, it's great. But layering it with other things that you want to add an oomph, a special factor, a sexy factor, it's amazing. Honestly, love pairing this with other fragrances so much. And for that reason alone, I'm like, I have to get a full bottle because there's something about the cinnamon note in this that when you pair it with other things, it just becomes magical. On its own, it's great, but I don't see myself grabbing this to wear it by itself. I just don't. But when I pair it with other things, it's heaven sent, it's sexy, it's boozy, and I'm going to be doing a layering video soon where I will talk about my favorite fragrance to pair this with. Like, they are just stunning together. So my nose changed on this one too. Wasn't really a fan, and now I'm like an uber fan. I'm like, Kayali, I need the full bottle. Thank you so much. Next up we have Lolita Land. This is one of those that you start diving into fragrance on YouTube, you start watching all these videos, you hear other people mention things, and you're like, I'm kind of curious about that. So I heard people talking about this, I saw the bottle, and I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. And then I looked it up on Fragrantica, and I was like, okay, I'm more intrigued. And then I realized it was created with Mason Francis Kurkdjian, who made Baccarat Rouge, and I was like, now I'm really intrigued and it's affordable. Okay, I have to try it. Honestly, this is one to me, if you like fruity sweet, it's so syrupy sweet, you could wear this all year round. Like, it still would smell pretty in the winter because it is syrupy sweet. If you don't like sweet, then you will hate this. There's something about it when you get it on your skin and it starts to warm up. It is just beautiful. It projects, it gives you this like aura, a very inviting aura. Like, I feel this is honestly, a young girl could wear this and it would be so cute. But a woman can wear this and it brings out her femininity. It makes her approachable, but she's still got like a playful side. It's syrupy sweet with a fruity, definitely get that peach in there, but then there's this like powdery goodness over top, and I'm not usually a huge fan of powder. And I will tell you what this smells like, which is really interesting to me. I discovered it the other day. I was in Sephora smelling perfume, like I like to do, and I was able to try Tom Ford's Metalique for the first time. And I smelled it and I was like, what does this smell like? It reminds me of this. Like, so much like this. If you've smelled Metalique and you've smelled Lolita Land, go back and try it again and tell me, am I crazy? Like, I got the same. Like, they smell the same to me. It's playful, it's feminine, but then as it tones down, it does become a little bit elegant. I wore this at the grocery store. I told this story before, but a random man stopped me. It was late summer where it was still warm, but it wasn't like sticky hot out. And he stopped me and he was like, what are you wearing? You smell amazing. This is one that is a powerhouse. Like, people are going to smell you. You're going to grab people's attention. It plays really well in the warm weather, but I do think there's a point where if it was like really, really hot, it could get a little cloying and too much, kind of overtake you, maybe be a little headache inducing. But I think this is stunning. I think the bottle's really cute. I do wish the top was a little bit like weighted. It's just like cheapy plastic, but it is really cute. And I have seen people who have this over time and the juice gets darker. I'm guessing that's just like vanilla in there, but I love it. It gives you that dusty, powdery, almost like, imagine like a sweet tart, how the Smarties, how those are like powdery in your mouth, or how the outside of a marshmallow is a little bit powdery. The other fragrance it really reminds me of is Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy. If you're a fan of that, I think you would really love this because this also has that sweet, almost marshmallowy effect. So yes, I am obsessed with this little bad boy right here. Next up, we have one that everybody talks about, and I'm still a fan of it, and I found myself wearing it a lot last year, so I feel like I had to mention it. It is Ariana Grande's Cloud. So this is raved as a dupe of Baccarat Rouge, and it is within reason. This scent bubble it creates, I really do think if someone walked by you, you wouldn't realize they're wearing Cloud versus Baccarat Rouge because it gives you that toasted sugariness. This one is a little bit woody, but it's like a cloud. It's very airy. It's like aromatic. It's light. It's not overpowering at all. I definitely feel like it's feminine, but I do think the right guy could wear this. This is another fragrance that I think works for all year around. If you love Baccarat, and even if you have Baccarat, I feel like this is one that people could enjoy having in their stash because you could put on like 2 sprays of your Baccarat or 3 to conserve because that stuff's expensive, and then go in with a little bit more of this, and I feel like it would bring out the Baccarat vibe, and your scent bubble would smell a lot like Baccarat, and you don't have to tell people you also went in with Cloud. I really do enjoy this fragrance. I tested out the Intense. I personally didn't feel like it was something I had to have. If you already have Cloud, I don't think you need Intense. They're very similar, but I actually enjoy Cloud better, and I think this one lasted better on me. Maybe that's just my skin, but I like Cloud better. I think the packaging's really cute. Like, it's one that I like looking at in my collection. I think it's adorable. I'm really not an Ariana Grande fan, so I always put her name on the inside just because, doesn't this look so much cuter than having that across there? I think it does. I have a lot of perfume, you guys. So another one that I found myself grabbing a lot last year is Noir Distill, which the name sounds elegant. And this is actually from Urban Outfitters. I almost sprayed that in my eyeball. This is what it sounds like. It is a boozy vanilla. This is one for me that is like perfect for when you're wearing like a casual tee and some cute jeans. You just want to throw something on that you're going to smell not boring at all. Because that boozy factor in there, it gives a little sex appeal to it. But when you want something that's like effortlessly a little glam, a little, I didn't try too hard, but a little bit sexy, like this is awesome and you can't beat it. I think it's like, oh yeah, $18. It lasts pretty well. It's not amazing. I don't think any of the Urban Outfitters ones are like amazing for longevity, but the size is perfect. You can throw it in your bag. And it's such an easy one where I do feel like people are like, what are you wearing? Because it is still a fragrant vanilla. It doesn't smell like I'm baking a cake. It doesn't smell like vanilla extract. It's a fragrant vanilla. I think this has coconut in it, but I really don't get coconut at all, which I know like coconut's one of those, some people love it, some people hate it. I love coconut. I don't get that, but there is a creaminess, there is a vanilla, there's a little bit of a warmth in there, but there's definitely a booziness that gives it a real sex appeal, and I grabbed this a lot last year. It's one that, again, I hated the first time I smelled it, and I only have a sample size, but this is Tom Ford Black Orchid. So the notes are black orchid, black truffle, patchouli, and I'm usually not a huge patchouli fan. I enjoy it in fragrances. I just don't always enjoy patchouli heavy fragrances. I do feel like this is patchouli heavy. And I don't know why, but I almost got like a bitter coffee type note from it. And this is a very season specific one. Summer, spring, even fall, I wouldn't like it. You have to be in like the thick of winter where it is bitter cold outside, and then this does something. It's extremely sophisticated. It's not an easy wear at all. It's definitely like a time and a place. To me, it's like black tie event, or I'm CEO. Like, it's very powerhouse, elegant with an edge. And like I said, it's not an easy wear at all. This is nothing I would just like grab to throw on. It would never be my signature scent. I'm much too playful for it. But I had to mention it because I hated it in store, and then I started trying to use the sample up, and all of a sudden I fell in love with it. It was like magical and edgy, and I kept coming back to it. Would I ever purchase a full bottle? Probably not, just because it's so specific. And it's a little pricey, but I had to rave about this one because, again, it's fun how it's very interesting how your nose can change. Something can go from a hate to a love in a short matter of time, and Tom Ford's Black Orchid did that to me. Then lastly was also one I found at the end of the year that is just different than anything else I have in my collection. This is Royal Rebel by Good Chemistry, but it's an amber fragrance, and it's very interesting. Actually, this is weird, but online people were saying it smells like when you walk into a marijuana shop, like if they were burning incense. I personally have never been into a marijuana shop, but I feel like I can imagine what they're talking about. This doesn't smell like marijuana or anything, but there is something about it. I get more the vibe of like walking into Hot Topic back when I was in high school. That's the vibe I get. It's like Cloud in the fact it's very airy. It's not heavy at all. It's not syrupy. It's just like, airy, light. But there's a warmth to it without it being like fall or winter. That's got to be the amber. And there's almost this like bubble gumminess to it, and I think that's why I like it. It's like bubble gum could be turned into fairy dust and sprinkled through the air. That's what it's like. It reminds me of bubblegum, but it's not syrupy like a candy. It's not powdery like Lolita Land. It's very aromatic. It's interesting, it's intriguing, it's soft, it's feminine, but it's not elegant at all. It's like, this one is a tough one to describe, you guys. The new girl at school who's really pretty, she's like effortlessly gorgeous, perfect bone structure, effortlessly stylish, but aloof and mysterious. And not in like a deep kind of, you know, emo type way or in a like criminal crime series type way. Just at like this kind of distant way. That's this. I really can't describe this one very well. It's interesting. It's not like anything else in my collection. I think this one would be beautiful and more like spring and summer because it does have that bubble gummy type scent to it. I really found myself enjoying it and grabbing for it a lot once I discovered it, so I had to include it in my list. Alright guys, that is all for my favorites of last year. Honestly, I have more favorites. It's really hard to pick because I have a lot of perfume, but I'm definitely going to dive into more perfume videos. I'm really enjoying them. I hope you guys are too. And yeah, you guys, that is all. As always, please try to stay positive because at the end of the day, that is truly all we could try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.